Hi everyone, it's Destroyer here with another ancient overview. It is Friday, so I will be showing you Moloch in action. In order to unlock Moloch, you will need to complete the 3 outposts at Moloch's battlefront, which is just below the multiplayer battle button. Because it is a death day, all the spell towers have been replaced with the Cursed Touch, which is very deadly. Affected troops will take an increased 10% damage, as well as they cannot be healed for 10 seconds. Now you do need to use a Death Ancient for the day, and I am using Tokumi, however you can use Nyrax or the other Death Ancients. So this one is quite deadly around the core, all the spell towers there together. So it is also a Stronghold 13, but those cursed spell towers are very deadly. I do not like them at all. And I do want to do as much damage to that as possible, so I'm going to try and sweep over that base. But I will start off by taking down that Skywatcher, because I'm going to be sweeping over that base to damage those spell towers. So now that leaves my dragon in a safe place. Better quickly help my troops in here, back them up with some Wardens and Paladins. I want to sweep over that base once more. I'm going to slow down these towers and speed up my troops with the Time Flux. I want to sweep over this base one more time. Here you come. That'll help out my troops taking down those spell towers. I'm going to use the Decrepify to increase the damage that these buildings are taking. I have successfully beaten this village, but I do want to try and clean up some loot. It's a bit harder to clean up the loot here since there are no troop summons. My troops have already taken a considerable amount of damage here. I can bring my dragon down to help on this storage, but there isn't really that much to clean up. And that will about do it. There's not much left in these. Okay, that'll do. So it was quite a struggle with 4 Cursed Touch spell towers, even for a lower level stronghold. I always seem to struggle against those. So we'll go ahead and do the second attack now. This base is a Stronghold 15. For some strange reason, the spell towers are flash freeze, which is a little puzzling, but I'm quite happy with that since it is quite dangerous to attack with those Cursed Touch spell towers. So this is definitely going to make my life a lot easier. I may try and attack from the east. First, I might want to try and swoop over the base. And I will just start distracting these defences with my maulers. I'm going to back them up with the Paladins to start healing them. I want them to get through the wall first. Quickly drop my other 2 Wardens. I can start using the Time Flux on my troops. Then use the Time Flux on the defences. That will really slow these defences down, giving my Paladins time to heal the troops. The only real worry now is that flare tower. We'll drop another Time Flux on the defences and on my troops. Might just sweep the base once more here. Do a little bit more damage at the back. No troubles taking down the stronghold. But I will start increasing the damage I'm doing here. Speed up my troops and use the Decrepify, which does some a little bit of damage as well as increases the damage they take. So keep using that. Just want to get some more of this gold from the smelters, and that'll do it. So strangely, that one didn't have the Cursed Touch spell towers, which made my life much easier. So now we'll head on down to the last battle for Moloch's battlefront, and you'll see that winning this one will give me a death chest. This can only be achieved on a Friday, and Moloch can only be achieved from this chest. So for some reason I now have the crippling poison on the spell towers, which is another relief. So this one's a bit tricky for the dragon placement since I do have the sky watchers on all corners, but I think I may be able to sneak the dragon in across there, just out of range. We'll see. Yes. So same as before, I'm going to sweep across his base. I'm going across the Primus Conduit as well as those arrow launchers. If I can drop my troops where that Primus Conduit is, I'll be in the arrow launcher's blind spot. So just get one more sweep across there and it will do it. So that will take that building down. I can quickly start dropping my troops. Drop a time flux on that, help them out. So that is doubling up. It's slowing down the defenses and speeding up my troops in that same area. I used Decrepify to start taking increased damage from this stronghold. Speed up my troops again, slow down the defenses again. It's not going to be too much trouble here. And again on the spell, the defenses and my troops. I'm going to really get through these defenses fast. A little bit of gold somewhere at the north, but there's no more ground defenses, so this is going to be very easy to clean up. And that will do it. So all three bases defeated. Now we can get to open the death chest. So as I mentioned, there is the death battle boost, all of the death ancients, death primus, and there we have Moloch. And I happen to win a death knight, which is what Moloch does summon, so I can show you that in action. I did do an attack with Moloch on the Friday, however it wasn't very successful. So since I was in Guardian mode, I decided to hold off for a while and practice later on. So I have done some attacks with Moloch so far, and I have figured out how to use him. However, he's not really my favourite ancient, but we will run through his abilities here. And I'll show you one attack. I have had 7 wins with him now. So his first spell is called Sacrifice. So you use this spell over a group of troops and it will convert them into a death elemental. So each unit sacrificed adds 20% damage and 10% health, and this can be stacked up to 10 times. So if you have a look at his death elementals, has medium health and the damage per second is fairly low. So it's mostly a distraction unit. I don't really find it that strong enough to be that effective. So I would suggest only using this spell on troops that are almost about to die. Second spell is Necro Armor, which halves the damage from all magical attacks and dispels common debuffs for 9.1 seconds. That's the duration at level 17. So this is handy against all the spell towers, but that's 10 mana. The third spell will summon 3 Death Knights. This is for 15 mana, so it will take you a while to summon these. So these are Paladins. You can press the question mark and see their stats. They have medium health and the damage is okay, but still fairly low. But they do have some lifesteal aura as well as healing in a 5 tile range. So they are weak against spell towers as well, as is the normal Paladin. So I'm going to go ahead. This is an epic ancient, so it can go to level 50. However, I'm only at level 17, so it is quite tough for me at my level. However, this is a 0 streak and I'm up against a fairly new stronghold 14. So once again, I will be sacrificing troops at the later stages when my troops are low on health. Definitely want to save up for the Death Knights, so I will probably change my Paladins over. Don't really need so many Paladins now, so I could possibly use more Wardens, or maybe a Mauler in there or something. So I have more firepower there right now. I guess that will do. So I may switch on over to this composition just for this ancient. Now I'm going to figure out where to attack here. I don't have the too many paladins with me, so I need to keep away from these splash damage towers, since I do need to build up 15 mana. So probably the north is going to be the safest place. So we'll start making a path to clear the distractions around the outside. Using Viscaria in my roost. High amount of health, which is good for sweeping over the base. Damage isn't as high as some of the other dragons. I'll sweep on over here. Clear up a little bit more of this path before I drop my troops in. There's Flash Freeze and 2 of the Arc Lightning buildings in there. I'm not going to sweep over this base just yet. I'm going to show you the effects of these spells. So it's time to deploy my troops. Soldiers, the Paladins. Now I am close enough to start dropping these Wardens. Hopefully they can take down that Arc Lightning before my troops get too close. No, unfortunately not. Didn't do too much damage. I'll save the sacrifice for later. I could use the Necro Armor right now, but the... okay, I can use that here. So now it's good against the spell towers, but I'm not really getting close enough to that Arc Lightning. So it wasn't that effective where I used it. And of course I can summon these Death Knights when I reach 15 mana. Here we go. So now they're going to be healing my troops. And I could start showing you some of this sacrifice. Maybe I'll show you right here on this this Death Knight. I converted that into a Death Elemental. So you can see it doesn't last too long. You can start converting some of the others. It can stack. So I can keep using that. They're getting stronger, more health, more damage. But there's not much defenses left here to show you, so I didn't do too bad here. I did run out of time actually. So maybe I'll show you one more attack with this. Hopefully I can find a more appropriate base. So it is only 1 honor. I'm guessing it's a fairly low base for me. Stronghold 14. Flare Tower same level. You've got some grouped up splash damage on single Primus Conduits. I have enough buildings around the outside to build up my mana, but it's going to be hard to keep my troops together. I would like to use the Necro Armor at the north, but I don't have enough mana to begin with. And I really can't peg off too many buildings with a dragon. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. It's only going to give me 7 starting mana. So I may attack from the south. So it's just a matter of cleaning enough space up around the outside first. It's going to be tricky. Don't want my troops pathing around to this smelter. It does take a lot of time clearing up the outside. So I do like to try and start my attack before I reach 1 minute 30 mark. I have a little bit cleared up here. It's almost safe to drop, maybe after the Dragon Roost goes down. So I'll start deploying my troops here. Same troop composition as before. And I may want to start summoning the Death Knights first, since I don't have that many spell towers in range. Could sweep over the base a bit here. That will distract the spell towers while I build up 10. So maybe I'm almost within range of those. Still safe. Could summon some more Death Knights here. Still not that close to the spell towers. That always comes in handy. I can summon this now. So I'm now protected against those spell towers. So it halves the damage from the magical attacks and dispels the common debuffs. So I won't be taking the poison damage. My Death Knights will be healing my troops. So let's go ahead and sacrifice some troops here. For instance, these are damaged, so I might want to convert them into a Death Knight. A Death Elemental, sorry. So it's quite effective at lower levels against lower bases. But against a higher level base on a high streak, I really struggle. You can see you can just keep sacrificing troops. You could even sacrifice your own Death Elemental as well. So you can keep making him stronger as he takes damage, which will replace his health. So as long as you have enough mana, you can just keep sacrificing the Death Elemental. So just barely managed to finish this in time, and that is one more attack. Maybe I'll show you one more depending on the strength I'm up against here. So 2 streak gives me a treasure chest. The Lightning Primus. Moving on to the third attack. Hopefully a little bit more challenging. So Sentinel with 10% bonus. The spell towers. What is going on? This is a 14. 1, 2 and 3. Then 4. There they are. No purple spell towers, but maybe I can whip up something here for you. I'll attack from this side since it has the less distractions. So using the Wardens definitely gives you a lot of DPS. So you just need to keep them alive. That's why it's very important to summon the Death Knights before they take too much damage. I don't think I'm going to have enough to summon the Necro Armor here, unfortunately. We'll take one shot from the Flash Freeze. And probably will drop that spell tower before I get closer. So I haven't been able to really show you that in action yet. And these other spell towers are hitting me. I want to get this Death Knight in here. So we've got a couple of Death Knights in there helping out. Good distractions as well as good heal, as long as my troops are within a 5-tile radius. Let's just sacrifice a lot of these troops so you can see what these Death Elementals can do. Now I have a lot less troops, and you start to see how handy these Death Knights are. So I have 3 up there attacking the catapult. They're not taking any damage yet. So I have enough mana to replace those. So you can see this one down here is taking a lot of damage. I can just sacrifice it again, and it gives you a fresh Death Elemental to begin with. So once again I can keep summoning the new one. So that is the point of that. So you mostly want to use that when your troops are close to death. So of course you would prefer to summon the Death Knights first to heal them. But as a last scenario, you probably want to convert them into Death Elementals. A little bit more gold here. Let's make these stronger. No spell towers left, so there's pretty much I can convert that one into a Death Elemental. And, oops, just missed out there. And again, of course you want to use it as it's close to death to get the maximum usage out of that. And that will do it. So that is Moloch. I'm not a big fan of him so far. But maybe if I would get him up to close to level 50, he may have some other uses later on. So you can only unlock Moloch on Friday daily campaign, so good luck with that. The third spell summons Death Knights, so maybe you could use less Paladins in your troop composition. And the second spell may be useful against bases that have a clump of spell towers guarding the stronghold. So that is all for this video. See you guys.